The night before my wedding, I heard my bridesmaids through the hotel wall. Spill wine on her dress, lose the rings, whatever it takes, she doesn't deserve him. My maid of honor laughed. I've been working on him for months. I didn't confront them. Instead, I rewrote my entire wedding day. I'd been lying in bed at the Rosewood Hotel, too excited to sleep, when their voices drifted through the adjoining wall. My bridesmaids' suite. My 5 best friends. At least, I thought they were. My name is Eliza Winters, and from wherever you're watching this, stay with me. Because what I did in the 12 hours between overhearing their betrayal and walking down the aisle became the wedding story no one saw coming. She's so fucking clueless. That was Meredith, my maid of honor. My best friend since college. Tomorrow's going to be hilarious. You sure Daniel will go along with it after? Ashley asked. I mean, he seems pretty into her. Please, Meredith scoffed. I've been working him for months. Little touches, inside jokes, reminding him of our history. He dated me first, remember? Before she swooped in, my blood turned to ice. Daniel and Meredith had dated for 3 months freshman year. 10 years ago. It ended when she cheated. I didn't even meet him until junior year. The wine spill has to look natural, Chloe chimed in. During the photos, right? Maximum damage, no time to fix. I've got the backup plan, Becca added. If the wine doesn't work, I'll accidentally step on her train during the processional. Rip it right off. They laughed. All of them. Even quiet Sarah, who I'd known since high school. What about the rings? Ashley asked. Already handled, Meredith said. I've got fake ones. The real ones will mysteriously disappear right before the ceremony. She'll have to use the fakes, and I'll make sure everyone knows they're not real. Plant the seed of doubt, you know? Like maybe Daniel didn't think she was worth real rings. You're evil, Chloe laughed. I love it. She doesn't deserve him, Meredith's voice turned vicious. Little Miss Perfect with her nonprofit job and her sweet smile. Daniel needs someone with edge. Someone who challenges him. Not some boring good girl who probably schedules their sex life. I pressed my hand to my mouth to stop from gasping. These were the women I'd chosen to stand beside me. Who'd thrown my bachelorette party. Who'd helped me pick my dress. Remember, Meredith continued, we need to be subtle. Death by 1,000 cuts. By the time the reception ends, she'll be humiliated. He'll be reminded why he was attracted to me, and this marriage will be over before it starts. What if it doesn't work? Sarah asked quietly. Then we keep going. I'm in their lives now. Best friend privileges. I'll be around for every fight, every rough patch. And I'll be right there, being the cool girl who gets him. She'll never see it coming. I slipped out of bed, grabbed my phone, and started recording. 20 more minutes of them planning my humiliation. Wine stains. Torn dress. Lost rings. Meredith's plan to give a toast full of funny stories about Daniel's wild past. Ashley would accidentally play the wrong song for our first dance. Before he cheats, instead of our chosen song. Chloe would loudly ask about prenups during the cake cutting. They'd planned everything. A coordinated attack to destroy the happiest day of my life. When they finally quieted down, I sat in the dark, processing. Then I got to work. First, I texted my wedding coordinator, Emma. Emergency. Come to my room at 6 a.m. Bring coffee. Trust me. Next, I called my cousin Katie in Chicago. I need you on the first flight out. Can you be here by noon? Eliza, what's wrong? Everything. But I'm fixing it. Just get here. Then I opened my laptop and started typing. By 6 a.m., Emma sat across from me, face going paler with each audio file I played. Those bitches, she whispered. Sorry. Those absolute. It's fine. Here's what we're doing. I handed her my revised timeline. New bridesmaids. New plans. Same wedding. They just won't know until it's too late. Emma studied the paper, then smiled slowly. You're brilliant. Evil but brilliant. They wanted to destroy my wedding. Instead, they're going to be the entertainment. We worked fast. Katie arrived at 11 a.m. with reinforcements. My 3 cousins and Daniel's sister Joanna, who'd always wanted to be included, but I'd kept the party small. They had dresses within an hour, courtesy of Emma's connections. Meanwhile, I played the perfect bride. Had breakfast with my treacherous bridesmaids, smiled through their fake compliments, even teared up when Meredith hugged me and said, I'm so happy for you. Ladies, I announced at lunch, I've arranged a special spa treatment. Just for you. My gift. They exchanged glances but couldn't refuse without looking suspicious. Emma's assistant whisked them away to the spa, on the other side of town. A 4-hour full treatment package. With champagne. Lots of champagne. They'll be too relaxed to rush back, Emma promised. While they were gone, I met with the DJ, the photographer, and key family members. Showed them the recordings. My mild-mannered future mother-in-law nearly threw her pearls across the room. That conniving little, she caught herself. Daniel dated that trash? Briefly. College. Well, we'll see about this. She made several calls. By 2 p.m., Meredith's parents were mysteriously delayed in traffic. Her +1 had food poisoning. Every ally she'd counted on was neutralized. At 3 p.m., the bridesmaids texted frantically. Where are you? The spa is so far. Enjoy. Take your time. Emma has everything handled. At 4 p.m., as guests began arriving, Katie and my new bridesmaids were dressed, ready, and briefed. The photographers knew to expect different faces. The groomsmen were informed of the changes. Daniel knew something was up, but trusted me. Whatever you need, he'd said that morning when I'd asked him to stay flexible. Your day, your way. At 4:30, Meredith called, panic in her voice. We're still 40 minutes away. The ceremony starts at 5. Oh no, I gasped. Well, hurry. But drive safe. At 4:45, I put on my dress. My real bridesmaids surrounded me, Katie adjusting my veil, Joanna holding my bouquet. In the mirror, I looked radiant. No wine stains. No torn train. No fake rings. At 4:55, Emma knocked. They just screeched into the parking lot, running through the lobby in spa robes. Perfect. Send them to the Magnolia Suite. But the bridal party is in the Rose. I know. I smiled. The Magnolia Suite has been set up specially for them. 5 p.m. The music began. My new bridesmaids walked down the aisle in perfect formation. The guests murmured, confused but not alarmed. Daniel's eyes found mine through the doors, and his smile made everything worth it. In the Magnolia Suite, my former bridesmaids found their dresses, but not the designer gowns I'd bought. Instead, 5 identical polyester monstrosities in the most hideous shade of mustard yellow, with puffy sleeves and hoop skirts. A note in my handwriting. Thought you might prefer something with more edge. Their phones started buzzing. The ceremony was starting. Without them. Later, I was told they tried to run to the ceremony in their spa robes. Security stopped them. Hotel policy. No robes in the event spaces. They had 2 choices. Miss everything or wear the dresses. As I walked down the aisle to my beaming groom, I heard the commotion in the back. 5 women in matching mustard nightmares trying to slip in quietly. The photographer, pre-warned, captured every mortified expression. The ceremony was perfect. Katie handled the rings, the real ones. My train remained intact. No wine appeared near my dress. When it came time for the maid of honor speech, Katie stood gracefully. Some of you might be wondering about the change, she began. Let's just say the original party had other commitments. But I'm honored to stand here with Eliza's true friends, the ones who've shown up for her not just today, but always. From table 17, the one by the kitchen doors, Meredith looked murderous. But the real revenge came during my speech. Before we continue celebrating, I said, taking the mic, I want to share something. Last night, I learned an important lesson about friendship. Sometimes the people you trust most are the ones planning your downfall. I pulled out my phone. But instead of letting it ruin our day, Daniel and I decided to turn it into a teaching moment. DJ, could you play track 12? The speakers came alive with Meredith's voice. She doesn't deserve him. I've been working him for months. Little Miss Perfect. The room gasped. Daniel's jaw dropped. He genuinely hadn't known about Meredith's intentions. But here's the thing, I continued over the recording. Real friends don't tear you down. They build you up. So thank you to Katie, Joanna, Grace, Lily, and Emma for stepping up today. And to those who stepped down. I raised my champagne toward table 17. Enjoy the chicken. I heard the steak ran out. The room erupted. Applause, laughter, shocked whispers. At table 17, my former bridesmaids sat frozen, faces matching their mustard dresses. Meredith stood abruptly, grabbed her purse, and tried to storm out. But the DJ, following my earlier instructions, started playing before he cheats. The song they'd planned to humiliate me with. Ooh, I called out. Meredith, this was your request, right? For the dramatic exit? She fled. The others followed, one by one, until table 17 sat empty, except for the mustard yellow napkins I'd specially ordered to match their dresses. Daniel pulled me close during our first dance, to our actual song. How long have you known? 12 hours. And you just replace them? Like upgrading from cubic zirconia to diamonds. He laughed, spinning me. Remind me never to cross you. Just don't hire my friends to seduce you, and we'll be fine. The rest of the reception was magical. No manufactured drama. No sabotage. Just joy, laughter, and a room full of people who'd witnessed the most epic bridesmaid firing in wedding history. Katie gave a real maid of honor speech that made everyone cry. My mother-in-law cornered me to say she'd never been prouder. Even the vendors were buzzing. Emma later told me 3 brides called her the next week wanting the Eliza special for dealing with toxic wedding parties. Around midnight, as Daniel and I swayed to the last song, my phone buzzed with texts from unknown numbers. The ex-bridesmaids had been busy on social media, trying to spin the story. But they'd forgotten one thing. Over 200 guests had phones too. The videos were already viral. Bride exposes bridesmaid's plot during wedding. Mustard yellow karma. Best wedding revenge ever. Someone had perfectly captured Meredith's face when her own words echoed through the speakers. Another caught all 5 of them shuffling and wearing those hideous dresses. The internet, it seemed, was on my side. Any regrets? Daniel asked as we gathered our gifts. I thought about it. 5 friendships gone. But were they ever real? Just one, I admitted. His face grew concerned. What? I should have ordered them uglier shoes. He laughed so hard he nearly dropped the card box. I love you. Even though I'm not edgy? Even though I probably schedule our sex life. His eyes darkened. First, you're the perfect amount of edge. Second, the only thing on our schedule tonight is making sure you can't walk tomorrow. Daniel, I laughed, blushing. What? It's our wedding night. And thanks to you, I'm not being seduced by your backstabbing friend. I'm feeling very grateful. Very, very grateful. We've been married 2 years now. Meredith moved to Portland after the videos went viral in our social circle. Ashley apologized 6 months later. Apparently Meredith had manipulated her with lies about me. I accepted the apology, but not the friendship. The others faded away, embarrassed into silence. Well, except Chloe, who tried to start a podcast about toxic bride culture. That failed after 3 episodes when someone kept commenting with clips from my wedding. Sometimes Daniel jokes about it. Remember when your bridesmaids tried to steal me? Technically, only one was trying to steal you. The others were just accomplices. Still the best plot twist ever. Like a heist movie, but with worse fashion. The mustard dresses became legend. Emma framed one in her office with a plaque. Always listen through hotel walls. Brides literally request the sabotage package, now. A pre-wedding security sweep for toxic friends. But the best part? Katie and I are closer than ever. My real bridesmaids, the ones who showed up with 1 hour's notice, became my actual best friends. We have monthly dinners where we toast with champagne and laugh about the mustard yellow incident. Last week, Katie called with news. You'll never guess who I ran into. Meredith. At a wedding. As a guest. Guess what color her dress was? No. Mustard. Fucking. Yellow. The bride specifically requested all guests avoid that color in the invitation. Meredith claims she forgot. She wore it on purpose? Has to own it now, I guess. Make it her thing. Like she chose it. We laughed until we cried. Because that's what real friends do. They laugh with you, not at you. They build you up, not tear you down. They stand beside you in whatever dress you give them, even if it's last minute and off the rack. And they definitely don't try to seduce your husband while spilling wine on your dress. The wedding video sits in our drawer, unwatched. We don't need to relive it. But sometimes, when we're at other weddings and I see bridesmaids whispering, I lean into Daniel and whisper back. Think they're plotting? Better check their group chat for mustard dress orders, he whispers back. And we smile, knowing that the best revenge isn't ruining someone's day. It's living your best life while they're stuck in mustard yellow polyester, trying to convince the world they chose it. Because I didn't rewrite my wedding day to hurt them. I rewrote it to save it. They just happened to be the comic relief in a love story they tried to ending. Plot twist. They were never important characters anyway.